Welcome to Endurance Noise Live on YouTube. It's Friday night here in Bakersfield, California, 9:30 in the evening on August 14, 2020. And they just told us that our electricity might go out. They're having rolling blackouts. Welcome to a third world country. It's like 105, it's supposed to be 110, 100 something this whole weekend. And so my lights might go out and it'll be as black as my brand new black background that I just did a review on. I want to do a little more of a deep dive on the world record in the 5,000 meters. I know some of you may not want to hear it on my podcast. Sorry, but I do these videos and then upload the audio to the anti-noise experience. Random musings and endurance noise, getting it all backwards. But it's a pretty impressive day on track and field. I mean, we had a great 800, great 1500, women's 5,000. And even the women's 1,000, lots of really fast personal best. And it was just nice to see the race in Monte Carlo. And there were people in the stands being social distance. And then, of course, the day ended with Joshua's world record in the 5,000. He said he was going to go do it. He would be running the Olympics right now. And so he was trained up. And then, of course, as I said, he did an 80-hour journey to get to the race. From Uganda. Ugandan president even got him a chartered flight, but quite a bit of traveling. And so a little bit of deeper dive, I talked about it before, but his world record was 12:35:36, beat the old record. It was 16 years, 2 months, and 14 days old. He beat it by over 2 seconds. And so the race, not ideal temperatures. It said the temperature was 79 degrees and dew point is 69. Where significantly warmer than ideal. The temperature was around 60 degrees for the last two 5,000 meter world records, but Cheptegei proved up to the task. He had some help early with pacers, but had to grind out the second half on his own. That was no problem for the 23-year-old Ugandan, who he won the Diamond League 5,000 by taking off with 6 laps to go and grinding out a 4:03 final 1,600, and 1,600 is 9 meters short of a mile. And earlier this year, he ran a world record of 12:51 on the roads in February in Monaco. So Monaco's definitely his place to be. In that race, he had no pacer. I remember watching that. It was pretty impressive, him just running on the streets of Monaco and just flying along. So graceful, too. He was slightly behind pace at 3K, and then he slowly caught, then passed the lights indicating the world record pace on the inside of the track and would stay ahead of it all the way to the finish line. People have been talking about the coverage, and the coverage on NBC sports packages, which I pay for, was pretty funky. During the 5,000, they go to black screen because I guess they go to commercial somewhere, and then they come back, and then on the final home stretch, they had this weird side angle instead of having him running to this line. And then, of course, when he crossed the line, it didn't show up as world record. It showed up, his meet record and things like that. And it says he could have paced himself better. None of his final 6 laps differed by more than half a second, though he did kick for the record. His last lap, 59.64, was the fastest of the race, was less than a second off his average pace of 60.43. It was an exercise in precision a watchmaker would have been proud of. Pretty amazing for a guy who comes from a country with only one 400-meter tartan track in it. And Jonathan Galt, this information I'm getting from Let's Run, he also said that, most of his track sessions take place on an uneven egg-shaped 450-meter track behind the school. There's about a 2-meter difference between track's heights and lowest points. So very, very impressive. It says that if you want to know how Joshua just ran 12:35 to break the 5,000 record and why he needed a flight chartered by Ugandan president and 22-hour later in Istanbul to get ready for this, you should check out the Let's Run article. And so, though the pace was unrelenting, he did not seem to tire until the final meters when a grimace finally crossed his face. For the majority of the race, he had looked like a man doing exactly what his body was designed to do, run as fast as possible, as efficiently as possible. As he crossed the finish line, a smile briefly escaped his lips, quickly disappeared. He had forgotten to stop his watch, which he dutifully clicked a few seconds later on the last lap to preserve his historic effort. I wonder if he's on Strava. Then it was time to celebrate. First with a shrug to the sparse, bemused crowd, bemasked crowd. Then 2 thumbs up, a double fist pump, and hands on his head as fatigue finally hit. Monumental performance. And definitely talking about, Bekele's record didn't just stand for 16 years. No one other than Bekele himself even got close. Bekele ran 12:40 in Paris in 2005. But other than that, no one has come within 5 seconds. You got to go back to Barrega's 12:43 in Brussels in 2018 for the next closest so far. So for Joshua, a guy whose 5K PR was only 12:57, to break it by almost 2 seconds is remarkable. And remarkable that he basically just came out and said he's going to do it. Kind of like Muhammad Ali almost. Just definitely very impressive. And it says, well, remarkable to most people, but Joshua and his camp made it very clear ahead of the race that they were targeting the world record, and we spoke with his agent earlier this week. He felt confident that Joshua had a good chance to break the mark. He pointed out that once the Olympics were postponed in March, Joshua quickly shifted his focus to the world record, and he had several things in his factor. Several months to work, uninterrupted, toward a singular goal of running as fast as possible. His coach, Adi Rudder, would be able to oversee his training in person. He usually splits his time between Netherlands and Uganda, but opted to stay in Uganda once lockdowns were imposed. And with most record activities in Uganda, Joshua could focus. So getting to Monaco, as I said before, was not easy. It required a 3.5-day journey, including a chartered flight out of Uganda by the president and a 22-hour layover in Istanbul. But once he arrived, he made the most of his opportunity and delivered a performance for the ages. And that's kind of why I've been doing these podcasts and just kind of talking and giving you guys information on it. Quick take on his 12:35.36. It's 60.43 seconds per lap. It's a 4:03 per mile pace. And he ran a 7:33 for 3,000 meters, which only 5 Americans have ever done before. So it says it's insanely fast, yet given the conditions he ran, what we're asking ourselves is if the temperature was 20 or 25 degrees cooler, could he have broke 12:30? That, and what can he do for the 10,000? Remember that back in 8 days, Bekele ran 12:37 for the world record in the 5,000, and then he ran 26:17 for a 10,000 world record. And so, very exciting event, very exciting race. I'm glad I was able to watch it live. And so hopefully you can find it on YouTube. I'm sure they'll probably be posting it in the near future. And if you can, please like this video and subscribe to my Andy Noise Experience YouTube channel. And as always, stay healthy, be boring, not epic.